The following pro wrestling exhibition requires discretionary viewer participation. And a good evening to you RWL fans, wherever on the planet you might be. We are in Syracuse, New York this evening for tonight's edition of Rwl Rage. My name is Don Hickson, and I'm joined by Christy Ogilvie and booking agent Myron Schimmelman. Ladies and gentlemen, the roadway, the path to the Memphis Million in December is really starting to heat up.
And we're seeing more and more of it, both on Snarl and Rage. Good evening, everyone. How are we doing tonight? Tonight's card is very indicative of what's going on, and it's going to be a great 2 hours of RWL wrestling. You're not going to want to miss it. Stick around, because it's going to be intense.
Hi, y'all, and it looks like we're not wasting any time getting to the good stuff. We're starting off the card with Legends Division action as Jerry the King Lawler gets set to lock up with the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal.
And Jinder Mahal has certainly been exceedingly popular of late.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to RWL Rage. Our first match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle from Memphis, Tennessee, weighing 245 pounds, Jerry the King Lawler.
One of the all-time greats, Jerry the King Lawler. You could write several books on the career of the King. And Jerry the King Lawler makes his way down to the ring to face Jinder Mahal for the first time. And that's going to be a wild matchup. The King, of course, well known over the summer for tag team partnering with handsome Harley Race as the Two Kings, former Legends TV tag champions until Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot rolled around. But the King, ready to do a single match tonight against the modern-day Maharaja. A King versus a Maharaja. Well, what do you think of that?
The King's got more experience than Jinder, and Jinder's been on a pretty bad luck streak in recent matches. Ever since he lost to Hulk Hogan near the end of the Sweet Revenge Summer Tour, Jinder Mahal hasn't won not one match. Don't know if he's gonna be capable of handling the King.
He's capable. He was winning solid when he got here at first, you remember?
And his opponent from the Punjab in India, weighing 234 pounds, he's the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal.
Well, I will say this, when Jinder Mahal appears, he certainly gets attention. Jinder Mahal, the modern-day Maharaja, as you both point out, has not had very good luck in recent weeks, making his return just a short week ago. And well, against Jerry the King Lawler, that's going to be an excellent level matchup. And Jinder Mahal's definitely going to have to prove himself if he expects to defeat an icon like Jerry the King Lawler.
I think it's great that we've got Jerry the King Lawler here in RWL's Legends Division. He's one of my favorites. I remember that feud he had with Andy Kaufman back in the 80s. Wow.
Yeah, we always hear about how Hulk Hogan is the guy who took this sport to the mainstream. But in my opinion, Lawler was there first. After all, he and Kaufman did that bit on David Letterman's show, well before Hulkster and the first WrestleMania.
The slap heard round the world.
And Jerry the King Lawler is certainly looking primed for this opening encounter with Jinder Mahal, the modern-day Maharaja, as Walt Rothburn sounds the bell, and this match gets underway. Jinder with a right and a left and another right and a clubbing set of blows behind the head of Jerry the King Lawler. Jinder Mahal has Lawler by the ankle, snaps the leg not once but twice. Jinder Mahal really starting to go to work on the King. And Jerry Lawler finding himself in some difficulties early on here as Jinder Mahal begins to stamp the hands and fingers of the king. Jerry Lawler certainly wishing he had Harley Race to tag out to at this point. Jinder Mahal not only firmly in control, but displaying quite a bit of arrogance towards the king. Jinder rounds up Lawler, spins him around with a hard right, goes behind into a sleeper hold. Without delay, releases it. He's trying to wear Lawler down. The king on the outside as Jinder takes himself topside and whoa! An elbow right to the top of the head. Jerry Lawler delivers a loop-does press on the outside, a series of hard right hands to the head of Jinder Mahal as the referee continues to count. Jinder pitches Lawler towards the barricades on the opposing side of the ring, gathers him up, slams his head right back down. Walt Rothburn trying to get these guys back in the ring, but so far no luck. Another set of right hands to the head of Jerry Lawler from Jinder Mahal. The modern-day Maharaja drags Lawler halfway across by his ankle, gathers him back up, gets a hold on him, and he's escorting Lawler to the ring like an unruly prisoner going to the paddy wagon. Jinder Mahal back inside the ring going after Lawler. Gathers him up, a double axe handled right across the back of the king. Jinder battering Jerry the King Lawler into the canvas at this point. The king catching 3 double axe handles across the back from the modern-day Maharaja. Jinder Mahal with a rake across the back of the king. Lawler gets the upper hand and the lockup has him up. Jinder Mahal deposited head first into the turnbuckle as the king quickly covers. 1. Only a 1. Jinder Mahal finding his way out of the pin. Lawler with a rolling elbow to the back of Jinder Mahal. Mahal caught in a headlock punch from the king. The king goes behind on him, rakes the back in retaliation. Jinder Mahal starting to lose the momentum here as Jerry Lawler starts to pull away. An elbow to the face from the king to Jinder Mahal. Jinder catches a right and a left and a shot to, what a shot to the midsection, took him all the way down. Jerry the King Lawler opens up with a series of right hands to the head of Jinder Mahal. And he's already busted open. And Lawler looking to make the thing worse with another series of shots to the head. The modern-day Maharaja rolled over by the king. Knuckles to the side of the temple for Jinder Mahal. As Jerry the King, whoa! What a fist drop from the king. Jerry Lawler snatching the momentum away from Jinder Mahal here, a chop across the chest. Another headlock punch, taking Jinder Mahal down to his, oh man. Lawler just battering Jinder Mahal into the canvas in retaliation for what he did to him. Well, now, the king misses with the overhand right. Jinder Mahal tags him with a clothesline. Mahal rounds him up. Lawler quickly counters with another right. Gets a hold of Jinder, whips him towards the ropes, makes the duck under. Here comes Jinder Mahal. There's an elbow to the head from Jerry the King Lawler and another fist drop. Jerry Lawler firmly in control at this point. The momentum all gone from Jinder Mahal. A hard right hand takes Mahal down to the mat. The king indicating to the fans it's time for something special. There's a clothesline over the top rope and out onto the floor goes Jinder Mahal. Jerry the King Lawler decides to take himself outside as well. Gets a hold of the modern day Maharaja. Slams him head first into the lip of the apron. Jinder rounded up by Lawler. Lawler countered and quickly rolled back inside the ring by Jinder Mahal. Jinder was trying to undo that turnbuckle and Lawler caught him at it. Not a wise idea. Lawler takes himself back outside again, goes behind on Jinder Mahal, has him up and a back suplex on the floor. A stomp to the midsection from the king, a rolling elbow that fails to find the mark as Jinder Mahal evades. A running kick that glances Lawler, a left from the king, and the king with another fist drop on the outside to Jinder Mahal as referee Walt Rothburn continues to count. Lawler taking his sweet time about getting back inside as the referee continues to count Jinder Mahal, and Jinder Mahal looks out of it. Jerry the King Lawler looking supremely confident at this point. He's going to take himself outside one more time. slams Jinder Mahal's head to the canvas, restarting the count. Lawler charges, gets a hold of Jinder Mahal, drives him into the barricade. Look at it, what a catch from Jinder Mahal, caught the king in the charge, delivers a rib breaker. Jinder Mahal surprisingly fast on that one. And he's calling for the camel clutch on the outside as the referee continues to count. Jerry the King Lawler has the hold released by Jinder Mahal. Debating what he's going to do next, he takes himself to the top turnbuckle. Jerry Lawler still laid out on the outside. Jinder Mahal indicating his target is sighted. And whoa, another double axe handle to the head to Jerry the King Lawler on the outside. Jinder Mahal rolls Lawler back inside the ring. The modern day Maharaja thinks he's got it won, goes for the cover. 1, 2. Again, no, Jerry the King Lawler getting the left shoulder up. Jinder Mahal stalking Jerry the King Lawler, sensing the end may be near, goes behind on him, and there it is. There's the callus. That could be the end right here. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3, and we are done.
Here's the time, 6 minutes, 47 seconds, and your winner, Jinder Mahal.
Well, it could be the bad luck streak of the modern-day Maharaja. Jinder Mahal may have come to an end, and it came to an end with this match against Jerry the King Lawler, as the modern-day Maharaja picks up a 3-count pinfall on the King. We'll be right back with more RWL Rage right after this. All right, coming up next, as you know if you follow us regularly, the Toxic Table recently signed with the Bell organization, and Too Short Popeye Scott Bell will be representing AJ Hawk at ringside this evening as he sets to go one-on-one against the Iron Sheik.
And I hope the Iron Sheik puts him in the camel clutch, breaks his back, and makes him humble.
You seem a little bitter, Myron.
Just a little around the edges, right?
The next match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Approaching the ring along with Too Short Welfare Popeye Scott Bell, from parts unknown, weight unknown, representing the Toxic Table, here is AJ Hawk.
I'm disgusted, Don. Absolutely disgusted. I gave those boys every opportunity. Yes, I gave them tough challenges because I wanted them to make something of themselves. So what do? They go running to this schmuck.
And indeed, Scott Bell is like a kid with a new toy, with the Toxic Table having struck a deal with Pat McAfee for his bunch. But I don't know. Even AJ Hawk, with all his accomplishments and all his progress, may be overwhelmed by the likes of the Iron Sheik.
Would it be too much for me to say I hope the Iron Sheik cripples him?
Myron! Now, honestly.
I can't help it, Don. I'm mad. I'm mad as hell.
Aw, Myron. Breathe deep, old buddy. Look at like this. If the Toxic Table would gravitate to Too Short, they really weren't worth your time and energy. Guess this is gonna make working with them kinda tough now, though. Huh?
Probably. I'll work with them because I have to, but I'm not happy about it.
His opponent from Tehran, Iran, weighing 254 pounds, here is the Iron Sheik.
And it's always a good time when Sheiky Baby makes the scene here in RWL, whether he's doing a single or in a tag team match with Tojo Yamamoto. The Iron Sheik never fails to deliver excitement for RWL fans. And this matchup against AJ Hawk of the Toxic Table, well, the Iron Sheik will certainly tell you he doesn't think very much of the Toxic Table or AJ Hawk. He considers them, as he would say, jabronis.
Compared to the Iron Sheik, they are jabronis.
Well, we recently saw X-Pac pick up a win over Mid-Atlantic champion Ox Baker on Snarl, but I doubt Lightning's gonna strike twice tonight.
I can't believe the Toxic Table signed with Too Short. I feel so betrayed. They're scumbags.
Well, perhaps the Iron Sheik will get you a little bit of retribution here. We'll have to see how it turns out. As Walt Rothburn sounds the bell, they come center ring. Iron Sheik opens up with a couple of hard rights, rounds up AJ Hawk into a scoop slam. And the Iron Sheik, well, now he just spat on AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk counters with a sweep of the leg. I would imagine he doesn't appreciate being spat upon. The Iron Sheik whipped into the referee. Whoa, what reflexes. He got out of the way of that move so quick. The Iron Sheik trying to strangle the life out of AJ Hawk here. And whoa, he is not fooling around. A stomp to the shoulder with those curly boots. And again, strangling the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik trying to choke the life out of AJ Hawk. A stomp to the shoulder again. Too Short Popeye looks like he's going to have a fit. The Iron Sheik choking the life out of AJ Hawk. There's a stomp to the midsection. The Iron Sheik slams the face of AJ Hawk nose first into the canvas. Well now, Iron Sheik, he spit on him again. Too Short seen enough, he's become a master at unfastening the turnbuckle. Double axe handle across the back to AJ Hawk. The Iron Sheik does it again. And AJ Hawk looking for some means of escape. There isn't one. There's a running shoulder right to the chest of AJ Hawk and right back into the choke again. Walt Rothburn helpless to stop the Iron Sheik. Well now, AJ Hawk probably choked out here. 1, 2. Nope. There's still some life in the old boy. The Iron Sheik makes his way to the middle ropes and boom! Fails to connect with the elbow drop. AJ Hawk quickly sidesteps him. Gets a hold of the Iron Sheik by the scruff of the neck. Takes him towards the turnbuckle. Smashes his head into the turnbuckle. And now driving shoulders into the midsection of the Iron Sheik. As AJ Hawk tries to, well now the Iron Sheik turning it around on AJ Hawk, slams him face first into the canvas again. AJ Hawk, hard Irish whip to the ropes by the Iron Sheik and a high hip toss to AJ Hawk. The Iron Sheik trying to quiet the crowd here as he continues to work on AJ Hawk. Again, slam face first into the canvas, right into the nose. Iron Sheik charges, delivers a kick. Delivers a set of rights. AJ Hawk quickly counters. Gets a hold of the Iron Sheik again. Has him up against the ropes. Iron Sheik counters with an elbow. AJ Hawk counters with a clothesline. And AJ Hawk fired up here as he tries to put out the Iron Sheik's fire. AJ Hawk locks it up with the Iron Sheik. Has a hold on the trunks. Has him up, slams him right back down to the canvas. And Scott Bell, he's not even looking. Well, the Iron Sheik gathered up into a scoop slam from a front cradle by AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk stalking the Iron Sheik, turns him around, drives a knee into the head, follows it up with a clothesline. And the Iron Sheik now on the receiving end of the bad business here, as again, Too Short disengages that turnbuckle. Another scoop slam from AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk makes his way to the top turnbuckle. Iron Sheik laid out near center ring. And now the Iron Sheik up to a standing position as AJ Hawk delivers a lethal shoulder tackle. This could be bad. 1, 2. But no, the Iron Sheik raising the left shoulder before the count of 3. A jawbreaker to AJ Hawk from the Iron Sheik. Swings and misses with the clothesline. AJ Hawk delivers another shoulder tackle to the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik using the ropes to get himself stood up again. AJ Hawk right there. Gathers him up into a back suplex. And the Iron Sheik is reeling as AJ Hawk begins to assert himself in this matchup. Turns him around again. Another knee to the head and another clothesline from AJ Hawk to the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik laid out dead center ring as AJ Hawk makes his way to the top turnbuckle. Again, the Iron Sheik slow to reach a standing position. Here he comes. Big time crossbody right across the chest of the Iron Sheik. Followed up with a stomp to the midsection and a rolling elbow to the back. AJ Hawk certainly working the combinations here. There's a clothesline from the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik catches a couple of rights, puts on the brakes, delivers a knee to the midsection of AJ Hawk. Gets a hold of him, and he sets him up for the chicken wing suplex and pitches him halfway across town. The Iron Sheik catches a leg sweep from AJ Hawk. And AJ Hawk is determined to win this matchup. The Iron Sheik may have other ideas. AJ Hawk rounds him up again over the shoulder, but Iron Sheik quickly counters a chop block to the back of the knee of AJ Hawk, and down he goes. The Iron Sheik rounds him up again. AJ Hawk being set. Oh, what a side suplex from the Iron Sheik. AJ Hawk being dragged towards center ring. There we go. Too Short Popeye getting into it with the Iron Sheik. And oh, the language must be coarse. AJ Hawk back on his feet. Takes advantage of the distraction. Delivers a clothesline that spins the Iron Sheik round like a record. AJ Hawk winds up the arm on the Iron Sheik and snaps it. As again, AJ Hawk tries to regain the momentum in this matchup. An overhand right to the head of the Iron Sheik from AJ Hawk. A whip to the ropes. Here he comes. And whoa, what a headbutt by AJ Hawk. Got to admit, he has made some progress in his skills. There's a knee to the chest of the Iron Sheik. And again, the momentum may be shifting one more time as AJ Hawk takes himself to the top turnbuckle. Again, the Iron Sheik slow to reach a standing position. Scott Bell loving what he's seeing right now. Another crossbody, another pin, another hook of the leg. 1, 2, no, not even a 2, just a 1. Iron Sheik powering out of the pin. A stomp to the head from AJ Hawk and another to the back of the head. AJ Hawk fired up at this point, and Iron Sheik on the receiving end of the bad business for sure. And there's a power bomb, a beautiful one too, from AJ Hawk. Oh, AJ Hawk being supremely smug at this. Whoa, look at that. The Iron Sheik quickly ducks out, delivers a Rhino-style headbutt to AJ Hawk. Just when he thought he had it going, there's a running shoulder to AJ Hawk and a choke again. One more time, the Iron Sheik trying to strangle the life out of AJ Hawk. The Iron Sheik rolls AJ Hawk over, goes for the pin. 1, 2. Again, another near fall as AJ Hawk finds his way out of the pin. The Iron Sheik becoming frustrated. There's a stomp to the midsection and a stomp to the back. And oh, here we go. The Iron Sheik setting up the camel clutch on AJ Hawk. This could be the end. Nope, the ropes are right there. Referee Walt Ralph Burns forcing the Iron Sheik to disengage. He spit on him 3 times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. The Iron Sheik spitting on AJ Hawk. That'll tell you how much he thinks of him. There's a slam of the head down to the canvas. Again, the Iron Sheik covers. 1, 2, 3, and that he just wore out AJ Hawk. The Iron Sheik wins by pinfall.
Here's the time, 7 minutes 58 seconds, and your winner, the Iron Sheik.
Well, I would love to give recognition to AJ Hawk for a job well done. There wasn't one here. The Iron Sheik simply beat his ass into next week. And Sheiky baby, showing off for the fans here in Syracuse. What an ass beating AJ Hawk just received. We'll be back with more RWL Rage right after the break. Stay with us.
Alright, we're back, and coming up next, we saw them for the first time together at Snarl. Jody Vorek, the Memphis Millionaires, and the Fairfield Fox, Ray Crawford. Tonight, they're here on Rage, getting ready to go up against Caden Carter and Katana Chance.
This next ladies tag team match is scheduled for 1 fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, the team of Caden Carter and Katana Chance.
Carter and Chance with a hit or miss win-loss record, but that doesn't matter much to the fans who certainly do love them. Caden Carter and Katana Chance making their way down to the ring after using those bazookas, and they are all set to face the new team of Jody Vorek and the Fairfield Fox, Faye Crawford.
There's an awful lot of buzz around Faye Crawford and Jody Vorek joining forces as a team.
And hey, why not? They're both former women's international champions. And Faye Crawford was tag team champ with Crystal Gabor during their run as Crystal Fox Limited. If there was ever a team with potential to take it to the top, it would be JD and the Fox.
Their opponents, from Fontana, California, the Memphis Million heiress Jody Dvorak, and from Fairfield, Connecticut, the Fairfield Fox Faye Crawford, JD, and the Fox.
All right, world. Hope you're ready, honeys, cause JD and the Fox have arrived. Faye Crawford and I, we not only hit it off instantly, but we enjoy working together too.
That's right. Besides, we both were looking for a new direction, and we found it with each other. We showed what we can do against the UK ladies on Snarl Saturday night.
But if it wasn't enough proof for you, wait till you see what we do tonight against Katana Chance and Caden Carter. We're gonna knock them down next.
And we plan to not stop winning. And we plan to be on the opposite side of the ring against Power and Beauty. We just happen to think the women's world tag titles would look just a little bit better on Jody and me.
The locker room stands warned now. We're coming for the women's world tags, and we're gonna knock down every opponent they put in front of us until we do.
Oh, I would certainly have to say Jody Vorek and Faye Crawford are suffused with supreme confidence as they go into this match. Caden Carter and Faye Crawford starting us off here as Walt Rothburn sounds the bell. Faye Crawford caught from behind by Caden Carter. Carter whips her to her team's corner. Here's a tag to Katana Chance right out of the gate. Look at this. A suplex and a senton. A nice double team from Carter and Chance. As Katana Chance takes over for her team. A stomp to the shoulder of Faye Crawford. And in comes Caden Carter again. Faye Crawford back up to a standing position here. Caden Carter takes her down with an elbow and goes for a cover. One. Not even a one. Faye Crawford looking at her like, what did you think you were doing? Caden Carter whips her into the corner again. Another tag to Katana Chance. The team working very efficiently. Another double team incoming stereo drop kicks. As Faye makes the tag to Jody Vorek, who moves in on Katana Chance. Jody with a cravat suplex to Katana Chance. Turns her attention to Caden Carter. Tags her with a right hand. Follows it up with a second, and an enziguri puts Caden Carter out on the floor. Katana Chance on the outside, on the other side of the ring. The Fairfield Fox moving around tentatively here. Jody whipped into the corner by Katana Chance. There's a kick to the calf. Jody Vorek comes up out of the corner. Katana Chance gets a hold of her, has her up over the shoulder, takes a walk with her across town and hangs her up off the top rope. Caden Carter finally getting back to her feet. Jody rounded up by Katana Chance. There's a kick, and look at this flip here. Whoa! A head scissor slammed into the canvas. Katana Chance with a knee to the side of the head of Jody Vorek. Jody rolls to the outside. Katana Chance goes after Faye Crawford. And here comes Caden Carter again. The momentum at the moment seems to be all with Chance and Carter. Look at this. This is a beautiful move right here from Caden Carter. Here's a cover. 1, 2. Only a near fall. Jody Vorek finding her way out of the danger zone here. Jody rounded up by Caden Carter again. Oh, counter whipped into the corner and taken down with a drop toe hold and a leg stretch by the Memphis Millionaires, Jody Vorek. Caden Carter with a couple of rights disengages herself from the Memphis Millionaires. A running dropkick takes Jody down to the mat. Caden Carter slams the face of Jody Vorek into the canvas. Jody quickly back up with this a beautiful wraparound DDT from Jody Vorek. Jody drives a knee right into the forehead of Caden Carter. Here's a cover, but not even a one. Caden Carter kicking out immediately. Caden opens up with a series of shots and kicks to Jody. Takes her down to the mat again. Caden Carter rounds up Jody Vorek one more time. Goes behind on her. Look at this. Whoa. Nice inverted DDT from Caden Carter, doing a little bit of showing off here as Jody Vorek makes her way to the corner. Here comes the Fairfield Fox. Faye Crawford again catches a kick to the side of the head that doesn't even phase her. The Fairfield Fox, one tough female. A hard forearm takes Caden Carter down to the canvas. Faye Crawford playing with her food here. Torturing Caden Carter. Jody locks her up again. A knee right to the skull. Faye Crawford's calling for it. There we go. A series of wicked strength kicks to the chest of Caden Carter. The Fairfield Fox turns her attention to Katana Chance, quickly gets countered as Kaden Carter winds up on the outside on the other side of the ring. The referee already counting her. Faye Crawford takes down Katana Chance with a couple of rights, turns her attention back to the other side of the ring. As Kaden Carter tags her with a right, goes behind on her, and a Russian leg sweep out on the floor as the count continues. Kaden Carter drives Faye Crawford into the ring steps. Crawford rounded up by Kaden Carter again. And pitched towards the barricades, but not quite there. Kaden Carter makes her way back inside the ring. The referee continuing to count Faye Crawford. As Kaden Carter turns her attention to Jody Vorik, there's a hard right and an enziguri that puts Jody out on the floor. Kaden Carter goes after Faye Crawford, catches a kick to the midsection, counters Faye Crawford with a right, and a facebuster to the Fairfield Fox. Kaden Carter with a running low drop kick to the side of the head of Faye Crawford. Crawford's arm wound up around the leg, and she's going to throw the switch. Oh, man. The Fairfield Fox in trouble here as Kaden Carter comes in on the tag. Again, the momentum seems to be all with Carter and Chance. A right, another, and a blow to the knee that takes down Faye Crawford again. Katana Chance makes her way to the middle rope and misses the crossbody. Faye Crawford stepping out of the way just in time. A kick to the face. Katana Chance. Well, that did not work out whatever she was planning. But there's a Hurricane Rana that does succeed in taking Faye Crawford for a ride. Oh, the leg sweep misses. Faye Crawford quickly sidestepping that one. There's a knee to the head from Faye Crawford as she winds it up, and again another leg lock, this time on Katana Chance. Crawford releasing the hold. Follows that up with a stomp to the arm of Katana Chance. Another stomp to the midsection, and again Faye Crawford tormenting Katana Chance as she struggles to a standing position. Faye Crawford locks her up. Hard whip to the far right corner, but Katana Chance counters with a kick, gets up on the middle rope. Faye Crawford doesn't see her coming. Boom! Whoa! Beautiful arm drag from Katana Chance. Faye Crawford whipped to the corner. Here comes Kaden Carter again. Here comes another double team incoming. Double snapmare and stereo kicks to the chest. And they're not done yet. Look at this. Another senton assisted by Kaden Carter, who takes over for her team. Faye Crawford shoves her away. Crawford locks it up with Kaden Carter, takes her down to the canvas, and a series of mounted punches to Kaden Carter. The Fairfield Fox delivers a stomp to the arm and quickly covers and hooks the leg. One, but not just a one. Kaden Carter back on her feet, locks it up with the Fairfield Fox. Crawford whip to the ropes, a low drop kick to the knee again. Kaden Carter strategically working on the lower limbs of the Fairfield Fox. Crawford again whipped to the Carter Chance corner. And look at this. Oh! Head first right into the turnbuckle. Never seen it done that way. One. Again, just a one. As the Fairfield Fox fights her way out of trouble again. Kaden Carter with a wicked strength kick to the face. Faye Crawford with a knee to the head of Kaden Carter. Kaden Carter on one knee as the Fairfield Fox rounds her up, and a wrist clutch boot to the face. And here's another pin attempt. Whoa. Again, only just a one. Kaden Carter finding her way out of the pin. Faye Crawford turns her attention to the Katana Chance and then runs and delivers a kick to the face to Kaden Carter. The Fairfield Fox doing a little bit of multitasking here. She goes to work on the legs of Kaden Carter, stamping both knees into the canvas. As if to say, you want to damage my legs? Here, let me do it to you too. Faye Crawford turns her attention back to Katana Chance, a hard right hand. And uh-oh, here we go. Beats of the Bodran time. A series of 10-shot punches right to the chest. Overhand shots over and over again, and down goes Katana Chance. The referee continuing to count Kaden Carter, and whoa! My goodness, did you see that? Faye Crawford going right through the ropes. A human missile taking down Kaden Carter. Kaden Carter goes behind on her. Oh! Reverse sweep. Slamming the face of Faye Crawford into the floor, and Kaden Carter doing a little bit of showing off here. Kaden Carter puts all her weight into that stomp into the lower abdomen of Faye Crawford. Crawford gathered up again. Kaden Carter countered, and she's rolled back inside the ring. The Fairfield Fox makes her way to the top turnbuckle. But Kaden Carter makes the tag to Katana Chance. It is too late for the high risker. Another Hurricane Rana from Katana Chance to the Fairfield Fox, who quickly rolls her over, goes for a pin. One. Only a one. Faye Crawford still hanging in there, despite a rough handling at the hands of Carter and Chance. Another arm smasher. Katana Chance whips the Fairfield Fox to her team's corner. Again, she's going to take... Whoa, look at this. A counter from Faye Crawford. Katana Chance catches a kick to the face from the Fairfield Fox. Crawford slowly making her way to the other side of the ring. Turns it over to Jody Vorek on the tag. Katana Chance catches a right, a left, a chop across the chest. Jody Vorek has her up for the powerbomb and nails it. Jody quickly goes for the cover. 1, 2. One thing that has to be said about this team of Crawford and Jody Vorek, they are extremely tough women. You may remember, Jody Vorek survived that Hell in the Cell with Liberty Bell Danielle Heathcote in March in Philadelphia. Look at this, Jody Vorek biting the hand of Katana Chance. Katana Chance gathered up, rolled back inside the ring by the Memphis Millionaires. As Kaden Carter is brought in on the tag, Jody makes her way back inside the ring. Hard right, a kick, another kick, and Kaden Carter catches the Hurricane Rana. Winds up on the outside. Katana Chance catching some hell here from Jody Vorek as well. Chicken wing suplex to Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. JD and the Fox standing tall at this particular moment. The momentum has certainly shifted towards them. A stomp to the arm of Katana Chance as the Fairfield Fox is brought in again. Kaden Carter, the legal woman in the ring, has Faye Crawford up over the shoulders, fireman's carry position, and oh! Whoa, what a leg drop from a fireman's carry. Pretty amazing. 1, 2, but not enough for the 3-count pinfall. Kaden Carter gathers up Faye Crawford again, whips her to the corner, and again she's going to go for it. Oh, slammed her face right into that middle turnbuckle, and now mocking Faye Crawford. Katana Chance watching as Kaden Carter rounds up the Fairfield Fox, whips her back into the corner one more time, and here's the tag she was waiting for. Look at this. Stereo super kicks right to the chin of the Fairfield Fox. Katana Chance countered by Jody, not once but twice. Finally succeeding on the third go. Kaden Carter, Katana Chance up on the top turnbuckle. Jody Vorek getting to a standing position here, and here we go. Oh, crossbody to Jody Vorek. Meanwhile, Faye Crawford still recovering, evades the dropkick from Katana Chance. The Fairfield Fox rolls her back inside the ring. Faye Crawford stalking Katana Chance here. Whoa! Facebuster, a running facebuster at that. And down she goes. Here's a cover from Faye. 1, 2, no. Kaden Carter right there to break it up again. What a match we've had so far here as Jody Vorek is brought in on the tag again. Jody locks it up with Katana Chance and is whipped over onto the apron. There's a drop kick that puts her out on the floor again. And once more, the referee initiating the count here. Jody Vorek makes her way around as Katana Chance winds up hung up on the rope by Faye Crawford. Quickly making her way back inside. Misses with the double axe handle. Gets caught from behind by Katana Chance. There's a back suplex. Katana Chance rounds up the Memphis Millionaires. Hard whip towards the opposing team's corner. And both these teams starting to look a little fatigued. It's been a long match here. Here's a scoop slam from Katana Chance and a pin attempt. 1, 2, but another. Only a 1. Wow. Jody Vorik still in the game here. Katana Chance with a stomp to the head. Jody gets a hold of her, whips her towards the ropes, makes the duck under, makes the leapfrog, and look at this, winds it up. Whoa! Spinning neckbreaker from the Memphis Millionaires. Jody Vorik taking herself all the way to the top turnbuckle here. As Katana Chance makes it to a standing position, here she comes. Whoa! Caught a shot to the midsection instead, and then followed up with a right by Katana Chance. Katana squirts Jody Vorik to the far right corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Rounds her up for a scoop slam. And now makes her way to the middle rope again. Jody laid out center ring, and oh my, well, that did not work out quite as planned. Katana Chance misjudging the distance on that high-risk maneuver. Katana Chance whips Jody Vorik to her team's corner. A kick to the ribs. Katana Chance with a hard right to the face of Jody Vorik. Jody quickly counters with a kick, backs off Katana Chance. Gets a hold of her. Uh-oh, look at this. Sets it up. There's that fisherman small package again. 1, 2, 3, and that is the second time Jody Vorik has used that move to get a win for her team.
Here's the time, 15 minutes, 29 seconds, and your winners, JD and the Fox.
This win puts some at 2-0. And hey, Jody got to use that fisherman suplex package pin a second time. It's gotta be a great move to win her 2 matches in a row for her team. I'm pretty sure the ladies' tag division is watching, especially Les Femmes Fatales and Power and Beauty, who might just be a little nervous after seeing these 2 performances by JD and the Fox.
Indeed, Jody Vorik and the Fairfield Fox Faye Crawford picking up a second win over Caden Carter and Katana Chance. We'll be right back with more RWL Rage when we return right after the break. Hope you're still here with us. We're closing out the first hour with a non-title tag team match involving the Lightning Fast Tony Dangerous and the Hurricane as they go into a non-title matchup against Tommy Wilcox and Oliver Hollywood, the reigning Rage Tag Team Champions.
Tony and the Hurricane together? That sounds promising.
The next non-title tag team match is scheduled for 1 fall with a 20-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, first, weighing 224 pounds, here is the Hurricane.
Well, it was about 5 weeks ago, give or take, that Tony Dangerous announced to the public that he would be bringing in some help, and I guess here it is. We've seen him and the Mighty Molly joining forces in a mixed tag match, and tonight it's Hurricane Helms in the same corner as the Lightning Fast One, facing Wilcox and Hollywood in this non-title matchup. And you gotta be impressed with this pair of superheroes.
I am impressed with this pair of superheroes. They're actually very talented, especially Tony Dangerous.
His partner, from Statinopolis, weighing 196 pounds, the lightning fast, Tony Dangerous.
Former international champion, former cruiserweight champion. Oh, Tony Dangerous has basically done it all. The Lightning Fast One joining forces with Hurricane Helms in this non-title matchup with Wilcox and Hollywood. Gotta question their odds against the Rage Tag Team Champions.
What you got here is a pair of very fast, very high-flying guys. And that means they are a match for Wilcox and Hollywood. I really can't call a winner here. I would love to see Tony and the Hurricane pick up the win. It's a non-title match. I mean, the belts aren't on the line or anything.
Tony Dangerous and the Hurricane, though. We have seen them once before, and they definitely gel as a team.
Their opponents, joined at ringside by Faye Crawford, at a combined weight of 445 pounds, the RWL Rage Tag Team Champions, Tommy Wilcox and Oliver Hollywood.
They did this once before. Tommy Wilcox and Oliver Hollywood, along with Faye Crawford, dancing their way to the ring to Pico and Sepulveda, a classic from the old days. There must be an idea of Oliver Hollywood's. He is a resident of the Los Angeles area, so he would be familiar with the intersection of Pico and Sepulveda.
It's a play on the team name, Wilcox and Hollywood. It definitely sounds like an intersection in Los Angeles, doesn't it?
It's a total non sequitur, I know, but I can't help but wonder if Oliver Hollywood is a fan of the Dr. Demento radio program. He would have definitely heard that song there.
If he ain't a fan of Dr. Demento, I definitely am. I've been listening to his show since the 1970s.
I'm not a regular listener, but I know that Weird Al Yankovic's career launched at the hands of the Dr. Demento show. Alright, it'll be Hurricane Helms and the Cocoa Beach Wonderkin Tommy Wilcox starting off this tag team matchup. Non-title, but wow, the potential here. Unbelievable as Walt Rothburn sounds the bell. They come center ring. Wilcox opens up with a couple of rights and a left to the Hurricane and an uppercut that takes him quickly down to the canvas. Tommy Wilcox catches a right from Tony Dangerous and winds up out on the floor. The high-risk maneuver not happening. Wilcox rolls back into a running knee from the Hurricane. The Hurricane goes into an abdominal stretch on Tommy Wilcox. Wilcox retaliates with a couple of shots. Look at those head scissors and drops the Hurricane right on the top of his crown. Wilcox with a Russian leg sweep on the Hurricane. Now into an armbar. The Cocoa Beach Wonderkin firmly in control of the Hurricane. As he steps up, look at this, the Hurricane goes behind on him, gets a hold of him, delivers the shot to the back, whips him to the corner before he can make the tag. Wilcox counters with an elbow, locks up the Hurricane. Sets him up. Fisherman suplex with a pin. 1, 2. A near fall this early on. Wow. Tommy Wilcox flips the Hurricane over, sets him up, and stomps the side of his head before beating it out of town and turning it over to Oliver Hollywood. The Fairfield Fox hot off this win just a little bit ago with Jody Vorak and cheering on the Rage Tag Team Champions, including her fellow Tommy Wilcox. A beautiful tilt-a-whirl Hurricane Rana from Hollywood. He seems to have the Hurricane's number. This team certainly does. A stomp to the back of the head of Hurricane Helms. And a running knee to the side of the head. Hollywood off the top rope moonsault, beautifully executed. And the Hurricane beats it out of town looking for a retreat. There isn't one. Look at this. Tommy Wilcox over the top rope, barreling into the Hurricane. As referee Walt Rothburn initiates the count. Another driving knee into the back from Oliver Hollywood to the Hurricane. Hollywood gathers him up, pitches him towards the barricades, doesn't quite make it. Faye Crawford giving the boys a wide berth here as the Hurricane begins to take a serious beating at the hands of Oliver Hollywood. A quick counter from the Hurricane, though, and rolled back into the ring. Tommy Wilcox catches it from the Hurricane. Low gut run suplex on the outside. Tony Dangerous catches a drop kick from Oliver Hollywood. The Hurricane, the legal man in the ring, makes his way on second thought. He doesn't make his way back in. Off the top rope moonsault from 10 feet above to the Hurricane. Wow. Oliver Hollywood really showing out here. Misses with the knee. The Hurricane just a step too fast, and there's a running drop kick. Tommy Wilcox finally back up on his feet and back to his tag corner. The Hurricane playing mind games with Oliver Hollywood and Tommy Wilcox. A hard right, followed up with an enziguri to the head. Down goes Tommy Wilcox to the outside as Oliver Hollywood makes it back inside. Hollywood slammed down with a spine buster from the Hurricane. Hurricane Helms goes into a leg lock on Oliver Hollywood. Disengages the hold as the Hurricane takes it over to his corner and tags in the lightning fast one, Tony Dangerous. Tony locks it up with Hollywood. Hollywood whips him to the ropes, and whoa, what a drop kick right there. A flipping drop kick. Wow. A clothesline takes Tony Dangerous out onto the floor. Hollywood rebounds off the rope, and whoa! He's not a superhero, but he certainly did do some flying there, and there's another moonsault on the outside. As referee Walt Rothburn again initiates the count here. Hollywood rolls Tony Dangerous back inside the ring. Takes the long way home for himself. Tony Dangerous misses Tommy Wilcox, who just sidesteps him. But he's going to go out on the apron after Wilcox. Look at this here. Sends him out a DDT on the lip of the apron. Oliver Hollywood makes his way back inside the ring. Goes after Hurricane Helms and gets countered with a forearm. Tony Dangerous still taking the very, very long way home. A dropkick takes the Hurricane down to the floor as Tony Dangerous finally makes his way back inside the ring. Charges a Hurricane Rana to Oliver Hollywood. A kick to the side. The lightning fast one. Looking for a direction here. Decides he's just going to show off to the fans. And why not? Tommy Wilcox watching as Oliver Hollywood catches a DDT from Tony Dangerous. You know that Cocoa Beach Wonderkin would love to be in that ring right now. Tony Dangerous misses that high-risk move as Hollywood turns his attention to the Hurricane. Slams his head into the apron, turns his attention back to Tony Dangerous. Gathers him up over the shoulder, takes a walk with him, and smashes his head into the lip of the apron. Oliver Hollywood, pretty dominant at this point in the matchup. Tony Dangerous doesn't quite make it back inside the ring. Oliver Hollywood makes his own way back inside. Here comes Tony Dangerous, and quickly, well, look at this. What a tilt-a-whirl into an armbar from Tony Dangerous. Oliver Hollywood escapes the hold, gets a hold of Tony, escorts him towards the far right corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Oliver Hollywood seating Tony Dangerous on the top turnbuckle. This is going to be bad. There's a hard right. Hollywood takes himself up to the top rope, joins Tony Dangerous. Look at this right here. Whoa! Unbelievable. What a slam off the top rope from Oliver Hollywood. Hollywood winds up the arm on Tony Dangerous. Delivers an arm snap. Follows that up with a stomp to the leg. Wilcox and Hollywood very dominant in this matchup against the Hurricane and Tony Dangerous. From behind goes Hollywood. Gets both arms. And oh my goodness, knees right to the head. Oh my. A kick to the back. Hollywood quickly going for a pin. One. Only a one. Tony Dangerous still with far too much energy. A driving knee to the side of the head from Hollywood. Oliver Hollywood snaps in a heel hook stretch on the lightning fast one. Disengages the hold. Gathers Tony Dangerous up to a standing position. Gets a hold of the trunks. He's measuring the distance, but whoa! A quick counter from Tony Dangerous. A suplex Oliver Hollywood didn't mean to catch. Hollywood with a rising knee right to the head of the lightning fast one, who tags in the Hurricane. Hollywood locks it up with Hurricane Helms. Goes behind on him, one-arm suplex that sends him flipping. There's a stomp to the leg. A counter from the Hurricane, quickly back up on his feet. A couple of hard rights. Gets a hold of Hollywood, and whoa! One arm slams him. The superheroes starting to turn the tide here. Tommy Wilcox and Oliver Hollywood starting to lose a little bit of momentum. Hollywood rounds up the Hurricane, whips him to his team's corner. He's going to take this one on his own. Sits the Hurricane up the same way he done Tony Dangerous. There's a hard right. And the Hurricane about to go for a ride he was not counting on. Wilcox and Hollywood. Whoa, look at this. A beautiful flipping slam again from Oliver Hollywood. Might have hurt himself in the process on that one. Oliver Hollywood indicating to the fans that he's perfectly okay. Tony Dangerous makes it in on the tag. Charges a Hurricane Rana to Oliver Hollywood. Hollywood rolls out. Tony Dangerous. Whoa, what a bulldog off the middle rope. Another Hurricane Rana from the lightning fast one. Oliver Hollywood tags in the Cocoa Beach Wonderkin Tommy Wilcox. Wilcox with a hard right and a left and another right. Locks it up with Tony. Escorting Tony Dangerous towards the ropes. On the left side of the ring, there's a hard right hand. Turns Tony around and chokes him with the top rope. The Cocoa Beach Wonderkin turning things around for his team. Tony Dangerous whipped to the ropes. Here's a duck under. Wilcox with, what a slap right across the face of Tony Dangerous. Wilcox with a diving elbow off the top rope. Goes for the pin center ring at the Hurricane right there to break it up. Hurricane Helms very fast. Tony Dangerous counters with an elbow that doubles over Wilcox. A hard right, a left, another right, and a standing dropkick that takes him down. He turns his attention to Oliver Hollywood. Hollywood counters him. Tony Dangerous hits him with another right and another, but whoa, look at this. There's another enziguri taking Hollywood out to the floor as Tommy Wilcox pitches the Hurricane into the barricades. Tony Dangerous again counters with elbows to the midsection of Tommy Wilcox. Wilcox catches a kick to the midsection. Tony Dangerous, whoa, man, he just bent him over like a bow. Here's a cover, 1, 2. I don't believe Wilcox got out of that pin. Tony Dangerous with that dangerous measures maneuver off the top rope, then misses with the splash. Oh, he hurt himself. Oh, he definitely hurt himself. That was a mistake. A costly one. As Tommy Wilcox starts to tune up the bend, there's a super kick right to the chin. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3, and all. Just like that, this one's all over. Wilcox and Hollywood picking up the win by pinfall.
Here's the time, 11 minutes, 48 seconds. And your winners, Wilcox and Hollywood.
It was all going pretty good for Tony and the Hurricane. Then he took the risk and it didn't pay off. Must have knocked the wind out of him because he never got his act back together.
It most certainly did not. Tony Dangerous, right here on this high risker, crashes and burns, knocked the wind out of himself, allowing Tommy Wilcox to set up the super kick in the corner. Well, Tony Dangerous was recovering, and there it is, the shot to the chin that put out the lights for the lightning fast one.
And ladies and gentlemen, that takes care of the first half of tonight's RWL Rage. Stick around because the second half is going to be just as good, if not better.
And we'll be back with the second half of tonight's RWL Rage right after this.